welcome back. My name is Allie, and I'm really grateful to be able to spend this time with you. This is not a pick a card reading. I am not sure what information needs to come through, but I have prayed and meditated over this space. We're going to pull a card or more than one, if they give us more than one, to get an idea of what this reading is about, and then we'll go from there. But I did set the intention that if you found this reading, then there's going to be a message here for you. So hopefully the messages that come through are clear, succinct, and very detail oriented to help you know that this reading is indeed for you. I ask that you take a deep breath or 3 in through your nose and hold that breath for about 3 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth for 3 to 4 seconds, grounding in this energy here together, that the messages that come through are for your highest and holiest good, and that you get some kind of signifier, something, I don't know if I'm saying the word correctly, but something that helps you know that this reading is for you. All you have to do is ask. All right. So thank you, Source, Spirit Guides, Angels, and Ancestors. What is the first message you would like to bring through? Please and thank you. All right. We have the moon, intuition, subconscious, hidden aspects of self, fear, the unknown, and emotions. And then we have a message at the bottom. I'm going to use that as well. It says, "It is worse to stay where one does not belong at all than to wander about lost for a while and looking for the psychic and soulful kinship one requires." It's a quote from C.P. Estes. So I feel like this quote in particular, as well as like skunks or badgers, I feel like the quote for someone is really significant. It's worse to stay where one does not belong at all than to wander about lost for a while, looking for the psychic and soulful kinship one requires. So for me, this feels like we're going to be talking about relationships. Relationships of a deeper realm, and our fears surrounding them. So skunks and badgers coming through is interesting. Both of those animals have their own unique characteristics that make them off-putting to humans, or maybe even other animals, I'll say. However, both of these animals are very cute and cuddly looking to me. And I feel like that is something that you can also find in committed relationships. You may find that I don't know why the word waddle is coming through, that you waddle back and forth between wanting to like pinch the cheeks of someone you love and then showing your teeth like a badger. And I feel like there's a lot of subconscious things going on in the background for you. Different kinds of emotions and things that are hidden from you that your guides and spirit would like to bring up right now. They don't want this one completely, but it's 10 of Swords reversed. And that goes right back to, it's worse to stay where you don't belong than to wander about looking for what does feel good for you. The 10 of Swords reversed tells me that, exactly that something has ended or a way of being has ended, and you are harboring resistance to that ending. The ending's already occurred. Whether or not you want to hold on to that sand that's falling through your hands, that is your choice. But there's this huge, big, unknown world out there for you, waiting for you to just get lost in it and discover it so you can find what is meant for you. And I just feel like there's something going on here where you keep going back and forth about what feels good and what doesn't, what you want and what isn't working for you anymore, what feels comfortable and what feels very uncomfortable, and ultimately what is going to bring you to your highest happiness. That's what this reading essentially is all about. Thank you, Spirit. So let's get some further details about this, okay? We have Queen of Wands reversed, 8 of Wands. Okay, we have Princess of Swords reversed. And because of the YouTube rules, I hate to do this with my cards. I really, really do. We're just gonna have to put a little sensor over her boobies. Isn't that dumb? Okay. So, sorry. Okay. So, Queen of Wands reversed, 8 of Wands, then Princess of Swords reversed. I'm already seeing this kind of back and forth. Look at this, Queen of Swords, upright, back and forth, and 2 queens at that. And then we have King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So ultimately, this tells me you, and this is not gender specific, we're just going to use King and Queen in that the listener, you, we're going to put you in the Queen energy is what I feel. And the person that you have in mind that this reading is likely about is definitely more in the King of Cups energy. Okay. The stuckness, or rather, yeah, it's stuckness. It's this back and forth of not being able to make a decision, not able to know, do I stay or do I go? What actually lights me up and makes me happy? Am I actually happy with the person in question? Or do I need to fully release this and kind of venture out into the wild where it is scary because it's unknown? I think you already know the answer to that question. In fact, I know you already know the answer to that question. This is just confirmation for you that your guides see you, that they're trying to help you work through these emotions, to work through and process any fears you may have around that. Because anytime we're harboring fear on, and I know this is easier said than done, if we're harboring fear in regard to anything, we're going to be creating resistance. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. We're creating resistance when we harbor fear about anything. So this is really asking you to look at what are your fears? You know, what do they look like? What are they exactly? And why do you have them? I'm going to use a really easy, I say easy, but here's an easy example. Let's say your loved one has passed away and you have a lot of conflicting feelings about whether or not you should sell some of their items, move from the house you shared together, start looking for a new committed relationship. Let's say that you feel as though it's easier for you to stay in the energy that you have been in than to venture out and see what it would feel like if you lived in a new environment, if you dated somebody new, if you let someone else have joy in their items that you don't find joy in, but you're still holding on to them because it belonged to them. Now, I'm not saying that you take their wedding ring and take it to a pawn shop, but maybe they had a really nice lawnmower that you don't even know how to work, or a truck, you know, that was really beloved to them, but it's a stick shift and it doesn't get very warm and it's not even your cup of tea. And I feel this conflicting energy of, what kind of person does that make me if I sell their things and I move from our home and I date someone new? Like, am I erasing them? But I also see you sitting at home not fully living your life because you're stuck in this older energy of going through the motions of what your life used to look like, but it doesn't look like that anymore because your loved one has transitioned into another realm. But you are still, I say still, but you are here continuing on this journey in this 3D realm on Earth. I don't know why I'm using this particular example, because in the beginning it felt like more of a quarrelsome energy of going back and forth. But this also feels like it resonates as well. When something is ended but we don't know how to release it completely, it's going to keep us in a very stuck energy. And really the only way to get that wheel moving is for you to make a decision and take action on it. And again, I know that's a lot easier said than done, but that is the antidote to what you've been asking for here. If you think that it'll make you physically ill, going back to our example, to sell the lawnmower or the truck, then that's probably a sign you're not supposed to sell it just yet. And if that's the case, I would sincerely ask you to take that pressure off of yourself. But maybe you know that you'd be in such a better position if you had some extra resources, if, you know, someone else was getting joy from that truck, okay? Let's switch to another example where you've been with your partner for a long time and they don't seem to be getting like really basic things that you would wish for them to get. Let's say that it's the same argument over and over again and you're like, how do they not understand? I just need them to vacuum the floor, you know, something silly. And it's gone on for so long, this continuous irritation or argument, that now when you see that they haven't done this thing that you keep wishing for them to do, you start taking it personally. And then you go, well, I just don't think I can be with you anymore because you can't do this one thing. Like, come on. But I really feel Spirit asking you to look at the way you are reacting. Maybe, and I'm not saying this is right, and I do believe there needs to be a very equal give and take in relationships, but maybe you are, it's that waddling energy again. Maybe you are leaning too far back from one side to the other of, okay, this is my person and I can deal with certain things because that's just who they are, because nobody's perfect. Or I literally can't deal with this anymore and I'm going to leave you. Maybe you voice this to the person. And I feel like in certain circumstances, now not all of them, you have to use discernment here, but in certain circumstances, I feel like you're going back and forth where one minute you're my person and we're best friends and everything's good, and the next minute you slight me by not doing this thing I keep asking you to do, and so I'm looking for a divorce attorney. It's these extremes. I feel like when you begin to get clear on your fears, so in that situation, your fear could be that you are they're not getting something you're asking them to do or not doing something as a slight towards you. Maybe we could reframe this. Maybe this person just simply can't grasp what you're asking them to do. And I know that can be really frustrating still. But maybe they just simply can't grasp it. Is that really divorce worthy? Maybe it is. But most likely it's probably not. And there's something about behaviors and thought patterns and ways that you've been moving and reacting in the world that might need to be looked at with inside you, okay, before we revisit, why can't you just vacuum the floor? They may actually have some kind of executive function disorder where they just can't grasp that. But they may have a plethora of other wonderful qualities and attributes about them that you won't find in somebody else. Ultimately, what I feel like this reading is coming down to is your relationship with self and the fact that I think a little more, I don't even want to use shadow work, but a little more internal focus on how can I look at this differently? How am I playing into this situation? How am I playing into my own suffering? And how can I fix that? You can only fix yourself. You can ask someone to mop and vacuum until you're literally blue in the face. But maybe we just need to say, okay, if you can't do this task, could you do this thing that I really don't care for and I'll take up the vacuuming? Like if you take this off my hands but it needs to be something that they can do and you know that they can do it. Let's come to a place together where we're not having these intense, feelings one way or another. The moon is all about emotions. And I'm recording this on the first new moon of 2024. And I feel like this whole reading actually has this really beautiful undercurrent of new beginnings available to you if you're able to look at a few things within yourself that you could take action, proactive action on to make your life feel easier, feel more magical, feel like you do have these soulful kinship connections in your life. Now, the flip side of this that I really get with the Queen of Swords here and the Eight of Wands is for some of you, there are endings that need to be honored and are not being honored. And it doesn't have to do strictly with relationships, although this is very heavy relationship energy here. This could be a job. This could be habits. And the habits one is like got a big asterisk for me right now. So I feel like that's a big one for a lot of people, myself included. What habits are really not serving you anymore? What habits need a break? I'll use myself as an example, okay? For months, for probably the last 6 months, I have felt like I needed to take a break from certain activities. And I just didn't want to. I straight up didn't want to. And even though I knew that I would feel so much better if I did, if I just kind of let myself have a complete kind of clear out of anything. I'm talking like caffeine, medications, anything. I knew that I needed to do it, that I would feel better, but I could not bring myself to do it. So I wake up at 2 a.m. on New Year's Day with the worst stomach flu I've ever had. And while it was a very physical bug, you know, it was also a very spiritual one for me, in that it was like, holy crap, I don't want to feel this sick ever again. There are things that I should be doing to make my body stronger, healthier, feel better, so that if I do get a bug again in the future, maybe it won't just run roughshod over me for 10 days, literally. And so I have spent this time honoring those intuitive nudges I had been getting, and I've been in a full-blown cleansing, purge, whatever you want to call it, and I feel amazing. Here it is, the 11th day, and I feel incredible, and I'm sleeping better than ever, and I have a renewed excitement about things. I have a renewed clarity about things in my life. I'm getting stuff done, and this is just something that's happened over the last few days. But I had to get really, really sick in order for my brain to make that connection and be like, okay, are you going to get serious about taking better care of yourself, about establishing better routines and structures in your life that would make you feel better? So I really feel that for many of us here, it's a matter of rewiring and resetting. It's like a big reset is needed. And in order to do that, some of the reset involves kind of digging around internally and seeing, okay, what needs reset and how can I do that? I'm the only one that can do that for myself. How can I do that? All right, I'm going to take these cards down, and we're going to get some oracle cards here. See if there's any other messages that want to come through. All right, Spirit. We'll use our Star Codes Astro deck. I'm not sure if I've had a chance to use this on the channel yet. It's one of my newer decks, and so I'm really excited to use this here. And as always, I love decks, I love art, and I love artists. And if you have any desire to know who these amazing artists are that made these decks, I always have that in the description box below. And I would love for you to check them out. Thank you, Spirit. Any other messages, please and thank you. Any other messages? Please and thank you. I feel like lavender would be, I'm feeling essential oil or even lavender tea would be really soothing to those watching this. The color even, which we have here, along with the ocean noises, which bring me a lot of calm and peace. But I'm getting like more lavender in your life would actually help bring about a lot more peace and calm. And serenity and clarity about what to do forward. So, second house, resources, and hearth with Vesta. We have number 40, which reduces to a 4, and 32, which reduces to a 5. This actually feels really positive. It feels incredibly positive because I feel like for many of us, there in the last year especially has been an emphasis on resources, lack thereof, where are they, you know, what do we need to do to establish kind of that steady stream of wealth, of steady stream of resources, whatever that looks like for you in our life, so that we feel more comfortable. And for many of us, doing that work inside is going to be leading to a lot more physical abundance, wealth in our outside world. It was kind of like 2023, which was a 7-year, was very much an inside job, you know, going within, doing a lot of really hard work, a lot of learning, making new connections. And this year, 2024, or whenever you find it, but it feels like 2024, which is an 8-year, is going to be a lot more about that balancing of resources coming into our lives, of having the goodness come to us because we withstood the storm and did the work in the midst of it. I really, really feel that very strongly right now. It was a huge transformation year, and I feel compelled to ask you, if you're still here, in what ways has your life shown you that abundance is here and coming in the last 11 days? You know, I feel that life has given you some really good sneak peeks of what's to come, to help motivate you, to help get you excited, because you've kind of been in the druthers, is that a word? I don't know. You know, you've kind of been in the swamp of the thick of it for a minute, and the end of 2023 was kind of like this fever pitch of what the is going on? What is happening, you know? And now things are starting to feel a little bit better. But it's just asking you to, you know, it feels like one more big step here for now, to look at, is there anywhere further you can make changes to have that incredibly positive impact on your life that you're looking for? Many things are already set in stone and are coming to you, and the universe has been sending you some really cool messages to let you know, just like the 4 to the 5, things are growing, things are picking up, things are starting to get kind of fiery and exciting. But can you take it one step further, you know? And then, look at this, 8th house mystery. And this is a 10. You have a lot of really cool things coming your way. And it really does have to do with wealth and resources, a feeling of stability, of, oh, I can take a deep breath now. You know, I put in the work and look at all these different ways that it's coming back to me. You know, it's like I can see you 3 months from now standing here and just saying, my guides were not lying to me. They asked me to bet on myself, to do the work, and I did it, and I'm getting paid over like tenfold because I trusted and I took action on myself. And I think they're just asking you to continue doing what you have been doing, putting one foot in front of the other, choosing yourself, being honest with yourself. And it feels very intriguing and exciting and honestly a little mysterious. Like an exciting mysterious. Okay. Are there any other messages that you would like to bring through for this reading, Spirit? I think that might be it. 1010 I'm getting is a really big indicator for you. You may be seeing that on the clock, but I'm getting that you're going to be seeing that more in your everyday life as you start to see things pick up even more. This is pretty quick energy also. I mean, I feel like everything that's headed your way at this point will be in your vortex. It's already in your vortex, but it's going to be like, you know, tangible to you in the next 3 months. What can you do to get yourself just fully ready and to release this kind of back and forth energy, to make a decision and take inspired action on that, knowing that you're continuing to choose yourself and your highest timeline for your highest and holiest good. I know that you can do it because I see it in the cards, all the work that you've already done. This is really exciting stuff. I'm very excited for you, and I'm excited for me too. All right, I'm going to leave it here. I love you so, so much. I am so grateful that we got to spend this time together here. And more than anything, I hope that you take excellent, excellent care of yourself. And I'll see you soon. Bye.